I picked up post-surgery cysts after my operation, after my hysterectomy, and I actually got quite ill. Probably the actual illest I got throughout the whole process. I was ambulanced into hospital about 10 days after my surgery because I had just a horrible infection and I was struggling with it. So I went in and they sent me down for an ultrasound to check on what was going on. And it was truly the lowest point for me.
Being told it'd come back was probably the most significant. It was at the time when on the TV adverts, particularly at that time, there was the Magic Mirror, the cancer charity was doing the Magic Mirror. One of them was a little boy getting his uniform on and the mum being in the background giving his son a hug. She wasn't there anymore. And for me, I just didn't think I was going to be there for the kids growing up. They were only young. And my youngest son was due to start school in September, and this was I found out I got the cancer back in the May, and really believed that I wouldn't be there in the September to see him start school.
I was in a hospital gown, in a wheelchair, having not showered and not sort of had any chance to even look in a mirror for a couple of days because I've been ill. And I was put in an outpatient's waiting room with young couples, expectant couples, who were there happy as anything because they were about to see the first pictures of their baby. And I'm sitting there knowing I will never be there in that scenario, never be there in the sort of situation they're in, because I can't go through that.
I gave up, and I know, looking back now, I gave up, and I was quite happy to die. As far as I was concerned, it was probably the best. I was in a lot of pain. I didn't feel as if I was ever going to get through it. I was struggling to cope with the changes to me and my body. And I was moved into a different ward, and there was one particular day, one of the nurses, I suppose, gave me a talking to and said, you know, you're a young girl, you've got 2 beautiful children, you've got a wonderful husband that loves you and a family and friends, I've seen them all here, you know, stop feeling sorry for yourself.
I then went in for the actual ultrasound itself, and even that, you're lying there thinking, I grew up watching TV, watching the movies, thinking, I'm going to be here one day looking at that screen, looking at my child. And I was looking at that screen and they're saying, yeah, here's some fluid and here's some fluid. And you just sit there and you just think, this isn't how this is meant to be. And this is horrible. And then you're plonked back in the waiting room again for a porter to come and pick you up.
And then I actually sat and thought, you know, she's right. I am lucky. I'm going to have to cope with it. And from that day, every single day I got stronger and more positive. And I still speak to her now, and she's, you know, become a friend, and she saved my life, I think.